All right, today we're going to pull back the curtain on a secret that really separates amateur sports fans from professional analysts. It all comes down to one thing: knowing the difference between a simple prediction and finding real value. Let's kick things off with a tennis match. Okay, so here's the setup. It's a quarterfinal match in Quito. On one side of the court, you've got Giovannini. She is world number 281 and has already snagged 5 titles just this season. On the other side, Reasco, ranked way down at 572 with 0 titles. Now, just looking at these numbers, this thing seems like a total blowout, right? So let me ask you straight up, based only on what you're seeing here, who's your money on? The choice seems like a no-brainer, doesn't it? Go ahead, lock in your answer. We're going to come back to it. Because as you've probably guessed by now, there is so much more to this story than what those first numbers tell you. This matchup is not nearly as lopsided as it looks. So let's dig in a little deeper with the tail of the tape. As you can see, Giovannini is a clay court specialist. She's mentally tough, a total rock, who just grinds her opponents into dust. But then there's Reasco. She's a fearless baseliner who, and this is key, absolutely feeds off the energy of her home crowd. And guess what? This match is being played right on her home turf. And now let's throw in the wild cards, the things you just can't see in the rankings. First, this match is at a high altitude. The ball flies differently and it completely messes with your stamina. Second, Reasco is the local hero, playing with a massive home crowd advantage behind her. And on top of all that, she's already battled through a couple of absolutely grueling matches this week. Suddenly, what looked like an easy call is, well, anything but. And all of this brings us right to the heart of our explainer today. We're about to get into the analyst's secret weapon, understanding that critical difference between making a prediction and finding real value. So after weighing all of it, the altitude, the crowd, everything, the analyst's official prediction is still Giovannini. The model says her consistency and her overall class should in the end be just too much to handle. So that's it then, right? It's simple. If you think Giovanni's going to win, you bet on Giovanni. I mean, that's just common sense. But here's the thing. In professional analysis, common sense can be a really dangerous trap. And this right here, this is probably the single most important rule in this whole game. Prediction does not equal value. Let me say that again because it's that important. Just because you can predict who will win, that doesn't mean you know who to bet on. They are two completely different things, and understanding that is what separates the pros from everyone else. You see, it all comes down to this concept called expected value, or just EV. It's not about guessing who wins this one time. It's about asking a different question. If I could make this exact same bet 100 times at this exact same price, would I make money in the long run? If the answer is yes, you've got a positive EV bet. You're getting a great deal. If it's no, it's a negative EV. You're getting ripped off. So, an analyst's real job isn't just to predict a winner. It's to be a detective, to find where the betting market has made a huge mistake, where the price just doesn't line up with the data. And check this out, because this chart tells you everything. The analyst's statistical model gives Giovanni a 61% chance to win. Okay, she's the favorite, fair enough. But the betting market, the odds they're offering imply she has an 85% chance of winning. That's not a small difference. That is a massive, massive gap. So the bottom line is this. The market has totally overreacted. It thinks Giovanni winning is almost a sure thing, way more than the data actually supports. And that gap, that space between what people think will happen and what the numbers actually say, that's exactly where a professional finds their edge. Now, let's see how this gap translates into actual prices. The analyst model says a fair price for Reasco to win should be 2.57, but what's the market offering? A huge 5.50. And on the flip side, the fair price for Giovannini is 164, but the market's only willing to pay out a measly 116. That massive difference in price means a bet on Reasco has a staggering positive expected value of 110%. To put it simply, over the long haul, for every single dollar you bet in a spot like this, you could expect to get your dollar back, plus another $1.10 in profit. That's not just a good bet, that's a giant mistake by the market. And this is really the key takeaway from all of this. You're betting on Reasco not because you think she's definitely going to win. You're betting on her because the price on her winning is just too good to pass up. You're betting on the value, not the prediction. And what about Giovanni, the predicted winner? Well, if you bet on her, you're actually making a play with a negative EV of 29%. The price is so bad that even though she'll probably win the match, it's a losing strategy over time. You are paying way, way too much for a favorite. So, knowing all this, how does a professional analyst actually go about placing their bets? Let's take a look at the smart money play. Here it is, the analyst's final card. And look closely. Every single bet here is on Reasco, the underdog. Why? Because that's where all the value is. The biggest bet is on her to win the whole thing, but they also put some money on her to win just one set, and even a tiny sprinkle on her winning the match 2-1, because the market has mispriced those bets too. This one sentence, right from the analyst's report, just wraps it all up perfectly. The predicted winner is Giovannini, but the profitable, smart, positive EV play is Reasco. They're two different things, and a pro acts on the value every single time. So, the next time you're faced with an uncertain outcome, and it doesn't matter if it's sports or the stock market or even a big business decision, ask yourself this simple question. Are you just trying to pick the winner, or are you hunting for the hidden value? Because, as we've just seen, knowing the difference, well,